So you guys are harsh on my defence there, you guys. Taking them apart, saying that they're all trash.
Well, on the last one, you listened to that?
Yeah, I was a bit offended by that.
Wait, so you don't
Am I wrong?
You don't need no defenders?
Am I wrong?
I mean, I'd take a defender or two here. I mean,
or 3 or 4.
I think you're a bit harsh, man. Our defence is like you were saying that as if we're like school kids, man. The way they're.
Did you see the Firmino goal?
Yeah, I did, and granted,
and
that
was
a
it not
bad
schoolboy?
performance.
Was it not schoolboy
It
defending?
was a bad performance on the pitch in that day.
Big game on the weekend. Arsenal against West Ham. No. Man United against Spurs. Now, for me, it's the acid test. This is going to say whether or not Man United have turned a corner since the Jose Mourinho era. You seem to have a lot to say about Jose Mourinho these days, Ramone.
Yeah, I've always got a lot to say about Jose Mourinho, and he brings a lot of topic upon himself, doesn't he? The thing is, I mean, let's put this into perspective, yeah. Because when Arsenal was on their 22 game unbeaten run, always hearing you're beating this fodder and this average teams, expected them to beat him. So when Man United beat Cardiff and other games you win, yeah, we expected you to beat them. Here we go now. Spurs away. Can you do it when the pressure's on? Can you do it against a rampant Spurs team who just popped 7 goals in their last game? This is the test for Solskjaer. I mean, it's not going to be easy. But if Man United lose, are they back to square one? Are they back to where they normally were? Are they back down to being depends if Arsenal beat West Ham and if Chelsea beat Newcastle, which I guess we expect them to. You never know.
Yeah.
But
they drew Southampton over there.
How many points are you behind now?
We are 6 behind Chelsea, 3 behind.
Yeah, so you drop another 3 points behind top 4, back to 9 points behind Chelsea. You know, and you think actually.
But then Arsenal and Chelsea are playing the next game after that. So
yeah, Chelsea got that. So.
Oh really? Yeah. Where's that? Where is that? That's at Emirates.
That's at Emirates. Yeah.
Oh, Chelsea got that.
Chelsea got that.
Where you go, man?
I think then we say where are Manchester United? Then I think that's when we know if you can get a point against Spurs, you're on the up.
I'll take that.
You're on the up.
I'll take that right now. I'll take that for a fact. But for me, even a performance, I'm not saying I'll just take a performance, but the performance is probably more important because we could lose to Spurs, which is possible to lose. They're a good side, but I can still say, I can see we're definitely playing better than under Jose. If we play in a certain way and lose, by the odd goal as it can happen. We saw Liverpool lose to Man City, and it's not like, oh my God, they've regressed. They're not the same team. You can lose to a team that is better than you, and right now Spurs are better than us. They've finished top 3 the last 3 years in a row, I think it is. Got to give them credit. What are you expecting?
Draw 2-2. Thrilling game at Wembley.
Okay.
It's Wembley, by the way, in January.
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
They've given up on that.
I'm
pretty sure
they need to just stay there because
they've not officially announced it.
They've
announced what they're actually going to be after this game, I think.
Where it's going to be.
Yeah, not actually announced.
Is Crystal Palace the game after this? Because there was rumours about Crystal Palace being the first game.
Fulham away, Watford at home.
What?
Oh, you mean Crystal Palace in the FA Cup?
No, so what's Spurs' next game? When I
Fulham away after United.
Oh.
And then Watford at home.
Because there were some rumours, this was prior to the FA Cup draw, about Crystal Palace being Spurs' next game, first game at White Hart Lane. When is that?
So they got Watford, then Newcastle at home, then Leicester at home.
Cool. Wait.
Hang on.
So who? I say it was a rumour. I just saw it. That could have been like game week 37 or something. Chelsea away.
Yeah. Arsenal at home. We're in March now.
Southampton.
Crystal Palace at home, 16th of March.
Oh come on! No, I don't know who made that up. Anyway, Kaya.
I'm going to give it to Spurs. 3-1.
Cool.
Yeah, you cool. To be fair, it's plus 2 goals. It's not that bad. It's almost 2-0, but I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet. So 3-1.
3-1's a beating still,
Yeah, I can't see me like keeping a clean sheet, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't. Yeah, you said 2-2.
Yeah. Just confirmed it.
I'm actually gonna predict 2-1 Spurs. Honestly, I don't think we're gonna beat them, and it's not to say we haven't improved. Again, if we lose it, it's not to say, the 5 games, whatever, was like, papering over cracks, or whatever. There's still work to do at Manchester United, yes. And I don't think they have papered over cracks because I still can see the cracks within the squad. But I just think Spurs are a good side. Son, maybe a little farewell before he goes off to the...
Is he available for that game?
Yeah. So a little farewell before he goes off to...
Can I say 4-1? Not joking. 3-1.
To the Asian Cup.
I think you've got to see...
Lamella's back.
By the time this podcast is out, we already know what Chelsea-Tottenham scores, but Chelsea play Tottenham on Tuesday as well.
Yeah.
So we've got to see what happens in that game, what team they play out. I'm assuming they're going to go full throttle for that.
For me, it doesn't make a difference. Unless Kane gets injured.
Yeah.
Or something like that, then cool.
Yeah.
But for me, whether they win or lose that game, I'm not expecting them to get battered either way. But if they win or lose that game, I don't think it's not going to change my prediction anyway.
I think if they get humiliated...
Yeah, but I said they're not going to get battered anyway.
Yeah, I'm not saying they will get battered, but I mean, in terms of possession, they don't play well, morale's down. It's a different mindset going into that Man United game. Maybe it benefits them.
Yeah, that's what I say. I don't know. I don't think it's going to change my prediction. Because either way, there's 2 ways you can look at it. You'll say, they won, so they're high in confidence, or they lose, now they need to bounce back. Yeah, so, I just think right now they're a better side than us. They're playing better. They know how, from back to front, like as a team, from back to front, defence, and obviously their forward line. Individually, maybe not in every position, but across the pitch, they're just a better team. So, if we get a draw, I'll take that right now, but especially because Arsenal are playing Chelsea next week. So it means that we can claw back any points lost this week on someone. I would hope for a draw in that game. Hopefully then we beat Brighton at home and claw back some points there. But that's my prediction. What's the other games this weekend? You got West Ham, Arsenal. What are you saying, Ramone? Score?
Should win that, I assume. Arnautovic is back. Maybe he did come off injured in the FA Cup, but they expect him to be back. So, I think it will be a bit more difficult than the first. Than we might assume. I think West Ham can play well on their day, and they can play bad on their day. So how they've been up and down for the past month or so. But at this stage, you can't be dropping any points, man. It's time to start picking up these points. So, Birmingham had a rest in the FA Cup. 3-1 winner. I'll take that.
Chelsea, Newcastle, Carl.
That's at the bridge, right?
Yeah. After the dour draw with lowly Southampton.
2-0 Chelsea.
Can I bank on Hazard scoring because he's my fantasy football? Last week it was my captain, so...
Well, no, it's going to be Odoi brace.
Hudson Odoi? I look at you speak about that. Because
you're lucky to be in the team, then.
No, but Sarri came out and said
Germany moves not good.
That he is he's on the same level as Willian and Pedro, and I mean he can.
Not.
Huh?
He's not.
Well, you don't think he gets 5 Premier League goals this season? That you said that is Willian and Pedro's A.
Yeah, he ain't got one yet. So.
But it just obviously means that Sarri likes him, or he's just trying to bump up his price to go. Should he stay at Chelsea or should he go?
I think the difference between him and say like Jadon Sancho is the fact that Jadon Sancho is getting nowhere near that Dortmund side, that Man City side, whatsoever at the time. And he was obviously I don't know if he was a couple of years younger than Hudson at the time, but it just didn't. He wasn't even getting in the picture. Wasn't even hearing of his name getting on the bench and nothing like that. So I think he was well within his right to say, you know what, I'm gone. And no one even batted an eyelid really and said, oh, why did he leave? Hudson now, weirdly, this is the season that he's getting a couple of games here and there. Europa League he's playing, in a League Cup and an FA Cup now we've just seen. So
Community Shield first.
First play against Arsenal Community Shield, played in their pre-season as well. So it's the first. Goran hasn't played many Premier League games, but now, funny enough, Bayern are in for him. Giroud's injured, Willian's injured, Pedro's injured. Morata can't do nothing to save his life.
It looks like he's injured.
And there's also, he already talks about Hazard as well going. So I think he should stay. I think he should. If he should, I think that Bayern team not going to be easy to get into.
No,
either.
at all.
Coman. I know that Ribery and Robin are at the end of their tethers now, so maybe there's a chance for him to break in. But there's still going to be quality players all around him there. So I think. But the thing is with Sarri is that he's a spectator like all of us in this. He ain't got no say about what happens with
in terms of selling or buying.
He's like one of us. He's watching. He's hoping that's Hudson.
But I guess
he's his player.
But I guess if he's playing and the player doesn't want to leave, then I don't think they'll sell him.
But this is the issue. We don't know what Hudson wants to do.
No, yeah.
This is the only thing we don't know is what Hudson, because all we hear is Bayern are coming back, another offer, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. Yeah, just saying, yeah. You know, what do you want? Like, you want to up it? Yeah, we'll match it. So, I think it's down to what he wants to do, really.
Cool. I know, yeah, obviously last week we spoke about transfers and who different teams should buy. So obviously it's been Chelsea's been bought Pulisic, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, for the summer.
For the summer.
So you guys are harsh on my defence there, you guys. Taking them apart, saying that they're all trash.
Well, on the last one? Oh, you listened to that?
Yeah. I was a bit offended by that.
Wait, so you don't
Am I wrong?
You don't need no defenders?
Am I wrong?
I mean, I'd take a defender or two here. I mean,
or 3 or 4.
I think you're a bit harsh, man. Our defence is
Whoa.
like you were saying that as if we're like school kids, man. The way they're.
Did you see the Firmino goal?
Yeah, I did, and granted,
And
that
was it not
bad
schoolboy?
performance.
Was it not schoolboy
It was
defending?
a bad performance on the pitch in that day. We obviously had injuries, players coming back from injury, not ready to play.
What about the other 19 games they've conceded in?
Yeah, don't come on. They haven't had the greatest season I've ever seen them in. But I think that there's potential in some of the players, like Holding. Unfortunately, he got injured. And I think that's a big part of why our defence collapsed for the past few weeks. He was great when he came into that squad. Arguably our best defender when he came into our team. That
says a lot.
On him. It means that he stepped up his game.
No.
Alright, serious, man. What position to defend your Arsenal that were torn to shreds last week? What do Arsenal need in the January transfer window if you are to get top 4? Unless you're saying the squad is good enough and you're going to get it anyway.
Defenders.
Okay,
So what? Basically, what I said.
No, I just felt like you was a bit harsh with
positions?
some of our defenders. I'd like to get another centre back in, especially now that Rob Holding's got injured.
I heard that Chris Smalling and Phil Jones are available.
There you go. They can be available as long as they want. Chris Smalling just had a new deal, didn't he?
Yeah,
he's there for a long time.
Back that price up, innit?
He's there for a long time. I mean, there's talks about Gary Cahill. I hope that doesn't happen. I really hope it does, because it just sounds like another Silvestre, Squillaci, Gala situation. It's like they're taking the players that had their prime already, man. Like, and what? Into what? I mean, I feel that. But I'll be surprised if we do. The new regime that has come in have bought some decent players in their time. The only issue is that we ain't got the money, apparently, again. Another season without money.
Cronky.
Yeah, but then we did have no money last January and ended up buying the Aubameyang on the last week. So we'll see what actually happens. Surprised that we're getting for Suarez.
Dennis Suarez.
Dennis Suarez.
Not Luis Suarez.
I mean, all I was again for Suarez at Barcelona. So.
But you only bought Aubameyang because Sanchez left.
No,
not because you had
Mickey was a swap, so...
Yeah, I feel like that was in the pipeline of Aubameyang. They were just waiting for the knock-ons to happen. Because the original contact was made in December by Mislintat when he came to Arsenal. He originally made a contact with Aubameyang's representatives in December. But we kind of had to wait for the Mickey Sanchez deal to go ahead first, which then now it allowed us to definitely say, right, we want him now. And then we obviously had the whole situation of Giroud going to Chelsea to get him, offload him, so we could get him as well. So I don't know. I feel like there's talks of loan deals coming in as well. So it doesn't sound great. It just sounds like another one of those Arsenal situations. But Dennis Suarez, another player, another midfielder. Don't know what he's going to offer us. I've never really seen him. He's played under Emery before for Sevilla, so maybe he knows him. At that time, Suarez said that Emery was a brilliant coach and it had a big impact on how he plays. So maybe he knows him quite well. It was weird though. After the FA Cup draw, they asked Emery what position he thinks Suarez is best in, and he said he's very good off the wing and comes in off the wing. So that was very strange for Emery to just answer that like that off a player that's not even yours. So I don't know, man. Maybe.
But is that a loan deal or purchase?
We don't know.
What are they talking about? Like,
Both. We've had both.
Oh, okay,
Some say
okay.
loan to the end of the season with option to buy. Some have said purchase. Yeah, I'd probably assume it's more likely a loan to end of the season with an option to buy. But obviously the whole situation with Ramsey as well comes into that as well. Does Juve come in now with an offer in January if we buy Suarez as a replacement?
breaking news: Manchester United signed Koulibaly. No, I'm joking.
The dreams.
I think that yeah, there's a lot of paper talk when it comes to a lot of these transfers.
Yeah.
He's got to just temper it down and see actually what happens. And the thing is, it always talk about all these players. There's always someone that no one ever spoke about.
Yeah.
That's the deal that actually happens. Yeah. Like no one was speaking about Pulisic, or were they? Oh no, we did. No, someone.
Klopp had spoken. They asked Klopp in the press conference.
No, I mean in terms of Pulisic to Chelsea. I saw someone post something on the Instagram. Someone anyway, some footballer. But other than that, most of the papers weren't talking about Pulisic. They're talking about obviously Chelsea the striker and that kind of thing. But we'll see what happens.